McManus. This is a screencast that will talk a little bit about the criminal justice class that your student might be taking. So today we will discuss a little bit about the curriculum, how the class is set up, a few highlights of the course policies, and as well as how you can support your student this year at home. So a little bit about me. I've been here teaching at Bromfield for 13 years, but teaching altogether for 16. Although I at one point taught 8th grade U.S. history here at Bromfield, I've been teaching at the high school level for a number of years as well. You might also know me because I am the advisor for the Bromfield chapter of BPA. So I might have some of your students at BPA chapter as well. So the criminal justice course is sort of a highlight reel of our American criminal justice system. And this is actually quite similar to a course you might actually see students take in college, but of course at a much deeper level in college. So we have 6 major units of study. The first one we are knee-deep in right now is crime and policing. And then we talk about court systems, the prosecution and defense, pretrial procedures, trial procedures, and then sentencing and the corrections system. When it comes to how this class is set up, I use Google Classroom for pretty much everything. I push out assignments to students, I collect assignments through there, I post announcements. I also have a packet for each one of my units that has handouts, and it also shows the students what work will be due for that particular unit. And students know all of those dates for assessments, for projects, for homeworks, because I do plan it out in advance. So they likely will know their assignments for the next week or two in any given day. When it comes to things about my course, I do not accept late work for credit unless, of course, there's an absence or an extenuating circumstance of some sort, or, of course, I will always accept a major project or essay late. Academic integrity is something I take very seriously, and I make sure to teach and reinforce the students with several lessons, as well as use Turnitin.com as a resource so that when students are passing in major projects or essays, they could potentially check themselves before they have any academic integrity issues. When it comes to grading, I always keep PowerSchool up to date. I post there multiple times a week. So if you ever would like to see how your student is doing when it comes to their grades, you can, of course, please check that. If you do see something concerning, I would ask that you first talk to your student and then shoot me an email, because sometimes the student might be able to offer you a better explanation than I might in that moment. When it comes otherwise to how you can support your student at home, I would encourage you to ask them questions about the course, ask them questions about what they might be learning, or perhaps what assignments might they be doing. I would remind them to stop the work if it's taking too long. You know, my homework assignments are not designed to take an hour plus a night. Usually they're 20 minutes or less. I would also advocate for self-advocacy. So I like to remind people that, students are 16, 17, and 18 years old, and it's a really, really awesome skill for them to reach out to a teacher, for example, if they're having trouble, or if they have a question, or if they need to communicate perhaps something that might be going on in their lives. You, of course, may feel free to reach out if there's something that is perhaps going on at home that you would like me to be aware of. And then otherwise, utilize Google Classroom, utilize PowerSchool to see what your students might be working on and or if they're missing any assignments. You are more than welcome to contact me. My email is on the screen here, kmcmanus@psharvard.org, and I am happy to correspond with you via email, or sometimes there might be an issue in which you might want to correspond via phone, or perhaps even in person, and I would just ask that you email me first to find a good time that's agreeable for both of us and we can set something up. I look forward to the rest of this course, which ends in January, and thank you so much for your support.